going back to how I structure my beats, I don't start with bass. I don't start with kicks. I don't start with hi-hats. I start with a melody because, again, it's kind of like I'm treating it like a jam session. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up another instrument kit. We're going to go back into our library, and we're just going to go looking for some instruments. I think that a nice key would sound good, and we're going to kind of sample through here and find one that we like. I kind of like the start of this already because it's kind of bellish. And then, you know, in a lot of these like drill songs, there is a little more of a dark kind of feel to it. So one thing that's really cool to do, and as we look at the pad here, like I said, you've got your 16 pads. If we're just loading in samples like we just did, then that is the sample that we just loaded in. Now if we go to keyboard, of course you've got 16 notes in, you know, just in chromatic order, which you can change. You know, here under chromatic, you can change it to just B major, and that's going to change it to where you're in scales now, right? So, right, versus chromatic where it's just each note. But the main button that I really want to focus on here is right here. It's called chords. And I don't know if that's really going to focus. There it goes. So hit chords real quick. Go over here to your where you scroll. And again, see if we can get a little focusing. And it's struggling with me. But what we're looking at right here is right here, the third knob over. And we're going to change it from harmonizer to chord set. Then you're going to have your types here. We're going to take major, and we're going to go down until we get into the minors. Now, each button that you press that's highlighted is going to play a minor chord. We're going to see a lot of minor phrases being used. So I'll pick a chord that I like, which I do kind of like that F minor. So what we're going to do is when we hit that F minor, we hold it. We're going to see on the screen right here that it's got those 4 notes highlighted. So I'm going to select those 4 notes. And now I've loaded them into my sequencer. And I'm going to just kind of noodle around with how I want to play those. So that's too fast. We don't like that. I want a weird kind of off. And let's also, we're going to go ahead and turn on a metronome just so we can hear how it sounds, you know, on beat. So I kind of like that. We're going to do, 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 do. So go back down in the reverse order. So that's an okay start. I'm going to go ahead and cut the beat down to 70 beats per minute because that's kind of like a, again, that's kind of like a drill type tempo, 140, 70. I don't like that. Okay. So right now, probably going to sound kind of boring. What we want to get in the background going now is some sort of pad. So I'm going to take piano off here, and I'm throwing a pad. Let's go ahead and select deep. Just something like that. And then again, our note before was an F. So I'm probably going to land on F again. Not crazy about that, so we're going to drop it an octave. You can do this all from the machine. It's cool. So I like that. But then I want to do a second measure where I add a little more to it. So we're going to go up from our F to our G sharp. Ride that out for a beat. And And then in the course of doing that, of course, we're going to have to duplicate our first pattern. The biggest thing, and anybody will tell you this, is when you're doing these beats, we care about the bass, we care about the drums, we care about the groove with the percussion, not so much the stringed instruments. So now that we kind of have a little bit of a foundation, that's useful because it's going to tell us we want to kind of ride in that F key, which is perfect because if you know much about bass, for whatever reason, I don't know the science behind it, but F just hits like to humans, which that may not... I may not actually have... This is not actually tuned. Okay, so I got to remember that. This is in E. So we're kind of doing a little transposing here, right? So if it's in E, then we want to go down 2 full steps to make it a C. So our F is actually going to be all the way up here. So again, to that point, how hard it's hitting. And then if we go down an octave where we want to be... So again, this will be a good opportunity to just kind of groove it. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So first, actually, we'll do the easy part when it comes to these drill beats, your hi-hats. So your hi-hats are going to ride in almost like a triplet kind of pattern. It's going to be like a do, 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 instead of do, 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 do. So what you can do is you can put your arpeggiator on in triplets, and just kind of noodle with it that way. I forget we're in 70, not 140, so everything's a little slower. Sound familiar? Right, so all I'm gonna do for the sake of ease is I'm just gonna hold on to my arpeggiator and hold on my hi-hat. And I may squeeze in some other ones. Like when I do my fast ones, I may do it with this hi-hat. So here's kind of what it'll sound like. A little offbeat. So I like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit record. Here you go. Okay, so we're just letting it ride out one measure. And then again, we're just going to go ahead and duplicate it. There's that other hi-hat, so I want to make sure I like how it sounds. I'm going to speed that up, do a 16th triplet. And you can see how we're going to just kind of squeeze in these random... And that's going to add just a little bit of dimension. And when we do that, we're going to go back out to our first hat and we're going to remove it. So it should sound something like this. Kind of like that. That's the little measure right there. Which I don't like that, so we're going to put this one back in where we had it. Because I kind of like that groove a little better. So it's just one little right there. Actually, we'll squeeze one there. Take that out too. Perfect. So that kind of gives us get a little bit of a groove from the hats. Always feel free to just, tap that in like naturally, and then that'll give you even more of a groove. You're like, and you can do that just know that whenever you go in and you try and quantize everything else, if you're trying to make everything fit on the beat, that it's not going to quantize correctly.